Hey y'all, Kaylin from Elbenville Farm, and today I'm making a mess. Yesterday I did a video on how to root cuttings from discount succulents that I got at Lowe's, and when I bought those succulents they also had a whole bunch of houseplants on sale, and I only paid 50 cents a piece for these guys too. And today I'm going to show you how to either save these or divide them if they're still in good shape, and then that way you're getting a really good deal for your 50 cents. I'm going to start and show you. Can you see all the rotting leaves down in there? The discount houseplants tend to be overwatered or underwatered. They're not real good at being consistent on the watering. And another problem I often see that causes them to start to do this rotty thing is it seems like they plant them a little too deep, and then the dirt is up high, and so when that dirt is staying wet, it's causing all those leaves to rot. And so if you can fix that, you can generally save these. I don't want to say you don't need a green thumb for this because I don't actually know if I count as having one or not. I grew up with aunts who could grow anything, who pulled over on the side of the road to break stuff off of plants that they decided they needed. And so there's a possibility that I do in fact have a green thumb and it's just normal for me. But at 50 cents, even if you screw it up, no big deal. And the only way to learn is to do it. I'm going to start with splitting this guy up. This one's actually in pretty good shape, so I'm not real sure why they marked it down to 50 cents. It's only got these 2 dead leaves on it, and you can kind of see that the leaf is, of course, below the dirt, like I said, and so, like I said, that tends to be the things that rot. All you do is gently pull it out, and then if you look, I mean, there's 3 distinct plants there. They usually put 3 to 4 in each pot, I'm assuming, so that if some die you've still got some, and it makes it look fuller. And you can see the root system really good. This is super easy. I'm going to take a clean knife, once again, just like the scissors yesterday. These need to be sanitized. You don't want to introduce any bacteria into the roots because as you cut it, you are going to cause some open wounds that the plant will have to heal. And all I do is cut down between each one, and you're literally just dividing that plant out of there. And then now they've each got their own little root system, and you're ready to pot them. I'm gonna set this one aside. I have a project that I need it for, and so it's gonna get a different type of pot than these 2 guys are gonna get. But so I'm just gonna leave this one over here for now. I'm gonna put these guys in just some of the leftover containers from my succulents and other houseplants that I bought that I've already put in other containers. I'm going to use a little bit of this dirt that was already in with them. If the dirt shows signs of mold, don't reuse it, toss it out, try to get as much of that off as you can. That's from too much watering, and then it stayed damp too long and the mold built up, and that's hard on your root system. Then look at your plant and judge about how deep you need to go. I'm not going to go as deep. They had it all the way up here. I'm not going to go that deep. I'm going to go right about there. This is going to die. I'm actually going to snip it off before I plant it. It's less work for the plant to have to keep dealing with that. Just put it about where you want it. Try to get those roots spread out so that they're already have plenty of room to space themselves. And then just put your potting soil in. And these guys are not going to stay in these pots forever. This is just till I get them established again as a plant by themselves. And then that's it. Now I'll water these later, and I'm actually going to water from the bottom. They have the drain holes in the bottom, so I'll set all of these that I pot up today in a tote that has water in the bottom and just let them sit in there, and so they'll draw the moisture up themselves instead of watering from the top. It's quicker because I can just dump one big jug of water as opposed to trying to gently water each one, and it lets them kind of just take up what they need as opposed to me drowning them. So I'm going to set that one aside, clean up more of my dirt mess from these guys. And again, today I'm just using the Miracle Grow potting mix that I bought a big giant bag of. I think it was $13 at Lowe's, but I just needed a bag. And then, so now that one's potted up good. Okay, this one I got, I know this one looks completely and totally dead, and this one actually is dead. If I squeeze it, it's hollow inside, so I'm not gonna try to save that guy. I mean, he's just beyond hope. But these guys are still nice and firm, and there's still life in them. This one's getting a little soft, but it's still worth trying. So same thing as the other one. Just get everybody out of there. I'm gonna cut that dead one away and just set it aside to compost. And then cut each of these guys off. And let's see, that one was called a Sanderiana, I'm not real sure. These are crotons. I cracked up, this one is actually called Janet Craig, and so I've been calling this plant Janet. But like I said, even though those look dead, they're still alive, and you can maybe kind of see at the tip, there's a bud starting on that. So that one will live as long as I get it planted and take care of it. So same thing, fill your pot. These ones from Lowe's have a wicking system in it. I don't love them or hate them. They're messy as far as when you're trying to move them because that wick is generally kind of wet, and so it does drip. But if you're gonna put them all in a big tray and just water from the bottom, it's not that big a deal. It's only a big deal when you start moving them. And it does have, let me get an empty one. You can kind of see the wick goes up inside as a hard plastic thing. So when you're planting, you're gonna need to figure out where that's at when you put your roots in. Okay. And you'll notice I'm making sure to add a bit of the fresh potting soil to each one, just because with the Miracle Grow potting soil, it does have the fertilizer and stuff already built into it, so this way I don't have to worry about fertilizing them anytime soon. I can just let them do their thing. Okay, so that's one little guy. This one was a little bit taller. And again, I'm making sure not to bury it too deep. They just don't seem to like it. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but it's just been my experience that the ones that I see at Lowe's on the discount shelf, because they're starting to rot, seem buried really deep. They're not real high up on the surface, so I think that's probably what it is. And one last one. And when you tamp this dirt down, you don't want to pack it down real tight because you still want there to be plenty of oxygen to the roots and you want it to have room to grow. But if you don't pack it down a little bit, when you start watering, it's going to all kind of come closer together, and then you're going to find you either need to add more soil or it's sunk down real far. So as long as you tamp it down a little bit, not real hard, that tends to cut down on that some. Okay, this guy, this is another croton, and I actually bought a whole bunch of these, and I'm not going to split these because, like I said, I bought a bunch of them, and I want to make them in some planters that are really, really full, but I am going to move it to a bigger pot for a while, mostly to give it time to deal with this rot that it's been dealing with. I mean, you can see how nasty all those dead leaves are on the bottom, and they're kind of smothering it. This guy, even though he looks dead, he does have a live shoot and a couple things down at the bottom, so I am going to go ahead and leave him in there. And this one is, once again, 3 plants. This one is a little tiny bit root bound. You can see the roots are starting to come out the bottom. And when I'm moving, excuse me, them up into a bigger pot, I go ahead before I try to do this and figure out about how deep the bottom of the soil needs to be by sitting the actual container it's already in there. And that way I can judge before I've already got it out and I'm starting to move it around. It's already ready to go. And so I've already put a little bit of the potting soil in there. And I'm gonna break these roots up a little bit. I want them to start sending out their shoots in different directions. Like I don't want them staying all tight and cramped like that. So you can see just a little bit of breaking up, like I'm not demolishing like I did with everybody else. And then I am gonna need more dirt after breaking up the roots. That's about the level I want them to sit because I don't want, I mean, you can see, I'm gonna pull this guy out. He is like just buried down under that. And you can kind of see that white fuzz is probably a type of mildew or mold. And I mean, that's just not healthy for the plant. Burying them like that, I mean, it just smothers them. So you see, I mean, look how much I managed to break off. They had it buried all the way up to there. It's no wonder the poor thing was starting to die. Okay, so get them situated in my pot. And again, just push it down a little bit. And you can see I did not cover it. They had it all the way up to here. I've only got it to there. That helps with that moisture issue. And then that one's good to go. I'll probably replant this one later in a bigger pot. I just wanted to give it some time out of that tiny little cramped pot and get these leaves exposed so they can start drying out and it can get healthy again. And then in a couple weeks, maybe a month, I'll put these in the big giant pot I have for them. But I mean, that's all I gotta do. This one I did not drill a drainage hole in, so I will water this one from the top. My house plants that I keep for myself, I tend to not put the drainage hole because I just have them sitting everywhere, and if I had the drainage hole, I'd have to put saucers under them. I'm just really careful in how I water, or I put a layer of gravel to help have some drainage. But like I said, I'm gonna watch this one carefully and get it moved into a bigger pot in not the too distant future. But those guys will all go in a tray that I'll fill with water and let them soak up, and then they're going into the sunny window in my bedroom. I just moved a shelf out of the greenhouse into my bedroom. I cannot believe my husband has not divorced me yet. But these guys all needed some light, and with the greenhouse exploded, I had to do something. So there's now a greenhouse shelf in my master bedroom. But I'm gonna get everybody situated. And like I said, 50 cents for each one of these plants. I turned that first one into 3 different plants and the second one into 3 different plants. So for 50 cents each, I mean, that's a good deal. I mean, like I said, even if they screw up, I'm out 50 cents. But if they don't screw up, I either have plenty of house plants to put around my house or give to friends or even sell at swaps if I want to. So there's a lot of options, and it didn't cost me a lot of money, so keep checking the Lowe's discount plants and see what kind of projects you guys can come up with. Thanks. Bye.